everyone, it's Liam Caddison here, and we're jumping into Lucifer as we get into episode 3 of season 3. I'm excited to get into this episode, especially with how good season 3 has been so far with these past 2 episodes. It's been very exciting. There's been a lot of intrigue going on, especially with the Cinnamon, who we got a bit more info over regarding the last episode, with Marcus telling his side of things about how he had a run-in with the Cinnamon, because I did, of course, speculate the possibility that Marcus could be the Cinnamon, but he seemingly shut down those theories with how he lost someone very close to him in the last episode. Not sure who, but he was trying to dissuade Lucifer from following the case of the Cinnamon because of how dangerous he is. Not like Lucifer's going to listen, but I am taking it with a grain of salt, because it's not the first time that I've watched a show that character A says to the viewer that they're not character B, when it turns out that they are. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but yeah, we got a bit more intrigue regarding the Cinnamon, who seems to be the main antagonist this season. But yeah, it was a very fun episode last time around. I'm hoping for more connectivity as well with Lucifer and Chloe, ever since things kind of went downhill with Dexter, with Lucifer returning to LA in episode 4, or him leaving LA, should I say, in episode 13, and then returning a couple of weeks later with Candy. So yeah, but I'm hoping for things to be repaired there. It seems like we are making small baby steps in terms of a road to recovery, but we'll see what does happen. But yeah, with that said, let's jump into episode number 3 of season 3 of Lucifer. Excited to see what this week's edition brings us. So with that said, let's go.
Did it come to you? How'd you pull that off?
Let me guess, blackmail.
Because she's awesome?
No, promise of a threesome.
Drink coupon deluxe.
Coupon? No, this isn't some sort of student disco. No one in the right
have a
mind.
coupon for a free margarita.
Oh!
Yeah.
Is to follow your greatest desire. Burn brighter, Mazikeen. You should hunt the most challenging human you can. I'm sure the doctor will agree. Once she wakes up.
Don't worry, we all have our limits.
Underestimate him. Right? He's killed 2 people in broad daylight because he felt like it. Who knows what else he's done?
Jeez.
Every bounty hunter who's ever gone after him has failed.
Well, this is Maze we're talking about. There's bounty hunters, and then there's Mazikeen.
Besides, I need you to stay here and watch your mom.
That's true. Without the doofus, she's defenseless.
I don't know if I like what you're whispering about.
Oh, I love these two.
Here, take a
As good as Trixie coming with Maze, she has to stay.
Knuckles.
You're dead, buddy. You'd think there'd be some... Oh! You'd think there'd be some, like, kind of advantage there for Maze, but...
Human's weakness and use it against him for maximum pain.
Oh, I can't see a nice lady like you doing something like that.
What's your weakness,
Oh, that was your biggest mistake.
honey?
Golly, no.
Kink?
Is that a band?
How about I break your fingers?
Oh, no. If you did that, I wouldn't be able to give my wife her back rubs. Oh, I suppose I could use the old elbows in a pinch.
Buddy!
I would hate for anything to get in the way of that.
Uh-oh.
This is not nice at all.
Uh-oh.
No. Lady, please don't take a photo.
Oh no.
Oops. She just
No,
randomly took a picture.
No, there's no proof. There's nothing happening.
Just tell your wife that.
Is it normal for you to massage my boobs?
I can stop if you want.
Don't say that.
Oh, man.
Athena Burns, I am
I'm
Detective.
loving how we're getting
So
more
you
Maze.
are Ben Rivers' attorney?
I was, but I haven't heard from him in 2 years since he disappeared, so I'm not quite sure how much help I'll
I don't know, that looks like
That's
Becca
interesting
from the
because we know
100.
that you've been communicating
Ali!
with him.
Is safety so important to you, eh?
Oh, tapping.
Oh.
Is there something more than him being a...
Formidable as your power suit suggests, aren't you? But don't worry, you can tell me. I know you want to.
Yeah, that's definitely Ali.
I love him.
There we go, more than the client.
I helped him elude the police, and I have been sending him money ever since.
Have you now?
Because I kind of expected a little more killing with my dangerous killer.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
I mean, he
tracking
knows
you
his,
down wasn't easy.
like, not to make any
But I
rash
thought he'd at least
moves.
put up a fight or run. Still holding out hope you know some kung fu.
Hey.
She wants that extra
I know when I've
flavor.
been beat.
See?
How are you gonna get out of those cuffs?
Wow! I mean, with ease, but like, what a bitch he is! Like, he just basically went no you to Maze.
Look, I've done a lot of terrible things in my life. That's not one of them. I was framed.
Oh?
I don't care.
Yeah, well, you should. Because Herrera's gonna betray you next.
Lieutenant Herrera.
The lieutenant?
You must be Detective Decker.
Yes.
Pleasure.
Pleasure. I know what this is
Oh,
about.
I mean, he seems to be outright, so I kind of
Wait.
believe him.
I think I'm just being a worrier, but there is something strange going on with this case, so call me back ASAP.
I think she got the memo. Oh, she's gonna call again.
Hey.
I love how protective
Look,
she's
I have a
being,
favor to
though.
ask you.
Seriously, knives to a gunfight.
Not impossible, is it?
Ow.
Ooh!
And you're welcome.
We love her. We love her.
See? I don't need a gun to save your ass. Come on.
No. Define saved exactly.
Oh, ah.
Here, first things first. Did the bullet go all the way through?
I don't know.
Is she gonna check? No!
Doing? Stop it!
It's still in there. Okay, all right. Well, in order to stop the bleeding, you're going
Love
to
how
have to
jolly Lucy
remove
is.
the bullet and stitch up the wound.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm good. Oh, you know what? I've grown kind of attached to it. I think I'm gonna keep it. Thank you, though.
And if you have any sedatives, I highly recommend he takes them.
You got any drugs?
What?
Too bad.
Oh! That helps, I guess. Oh, she said sorry. And giving him comfort. That's great.
Oh, my head hurts.
Yeah, pre-surgical knockout. At least I got the bullet out, though.
Huh. Is that a
Did she-
button?
Did she sew a button on?
Come on.
Get ready.
I don't know if that works, but...
You take me back, I'm a dead man.
Not my problem.
Dan!
You don't look before you throw?
What are you doing here, Dan?
I mean, you did.
I don't know, Maze, you
And
tell me.
open the door.
I should be drinking a Mai Tai right now, but instead I'm getting worried phone calls from Chloe asking me to check up on you. One small problem. I don't actually have my gun.
You're a cop and you don't have your gun?
I mean, he was on vacation.
A boring one, apparently.
You want to help this guy? The best thing to do is to turn this case over to the Canadians. Let the Mounties handle it.
Why? So they can nice the bad guys to death?
We don't have any jurisdiction here, Maze. This whole thing can get real messy real fast.
It's a lead.
I know, this is much worse than I thought. I mean, first she fluffs the man's pillow, and now she's trying to clear his name.
Maybe.
I
Oh
never
my
thought I'd say
goodness.
this, Detective, but we
Lucifer,
need to
maybe
go
you
to
might need a
Canada
bit of common
now.
sense.
Hold on.
Turned on
Hold
a
I can tell you're
bit.
worried, and that's actually really endearing. But Dan's there.
That's worse.
Right now, Maze needs a different kind of help.
Got some strong drugs and a lobotomy.
She needs us to trust her.
She needs to
You're
have
actually
that
serious,
independency.
You're
Oh, come now, Peter, think about it. I mean, a rotten apple like Rivers would shoot every bullet he had, wouldn't he?
Lucifer.
And how many's in a clip? 12, 15,
Please.
20?
Unless
Yeah, that
Lucifer's
sounds about
got,
right.
like,
He's a vile
his own
predator, that one, isn't he?
thing going on.
But he shot those poor kids right in the back, didn't he? He totally did.
Lucifer, go with the flow.
Really, because in your testimony, you said it was the other way around.
Oh, you know.
Oh my goodness.
That's my bounty, bitch.
Yes.
Well, well. If it isn't our clever little friend with the knives. So nice of you to join us.
Back off. He's mine.
Is that piercing,
Okay,
you know,
first
cool
off,
on you?
Kill her first.
Huh? I love how Dad's there just with the snowball. Good, Dad. Uh-oh.
Oh, crap.
Don't worry, they gave you all the credit. You're under arrest.
Oh, come on, really?
Yes, really.
Playing dirty ain't good,
If it was any
buddy.
consolation, I suggested we beat you to death with our bare hands, but the detective insisted we do it by the book. And considering I know where you're eventually going to go, that's fine by me.
Piece of cake.
See the most beautiful places, live every day like it's our last. And all you gotta do is...
There's that purpose there. There is that purpose. Oh.
You may not have roots, but turns out I do.
That's her purpose.
And I may even
Her own family.
miss them.
I knew you thought you didn't have a soul. Remember what
There
I
we
said,
go.
man?
So because this is it. She has a lot of heart.
I know more than you think.
Hmm? Hmm? What the heck is that about? Unless that's one of like Carrera's people that he Rivers was talking about. I love that. I love that so much. I needed that episode because Maze is awesome. And I've said it time and again, but Maze has been my favourite character in Lucifer, and it was just great to have an episode devoted to her, and especially, you know, tackling the idea on just because she doesn't have a soul doesn't mean she's soulless. Like I've expressed it time, like her connection with Trixie, for example, empathizes that so much to me. Because yeah, she might not technically have a soul, but there's a lot to ride on. She there's a lot of like emotion behind it. There's a lot like this is it. There are people out there who do have a soul, of course, as humans technically do, but they will act soulless. And I've always believed in the idea that like even the soulless can be more humane than those who are human but act monstrous, which parallels really, really nicely to Rivers, because he's supposed to be this monster. He's supposed to be this deprived person who doesn't... of course, that was the frame, but it's a nice parallel to some people out there, like, that there are some people who will just kill, who don't have a heart. And, you know, you've got this bounty hunter who doesn't technically have a soul, but she has more soul to me than a lot than people out there, than some humans out there. So yeah, I loved that episode. Really amazing. But not intended. No, but I feel like I'm gonna be a bit biased when I say that this is my favorite episode so far of season 3, but then again, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other episodes this season that will top this episode, with us having 3 episodes tucked away, 23 more to go, I believe. Yeah, but given the fact that I just love Maze so much, and I've said it time and time again, I really appreciate this episode, how completely different it was, and how Maze has now had a good understanding regarding her character, regarding who she is, that there is more to her life than just bounty hunting, that there are people there for her, people who really, really do love her. And I feel like with this episode, there have been cases where she has shown that she can act as if she has a soul, despite the fact that she is soulless. There have been cases before in Lucifer, but this episode is the episode where she realizes this. And funnily enough, that is, I feel like, a humane thing to do. I mean, I've reached that point in life where, there may be certain elements inside me that I do not recognize, whether it's one thing or whether it's my low self-esteem. Like, people keep saying certain stuff to me about, like, oh, you're entertaining, oh, you're amazing, etc. And, that description doesn't sink into my head. So yeah, and I feel like this is the same case with Maze. Like, I feel like she's spent so long being so adjusted to the idea that she doesn't think of herself as something more than just this soulless person. And she is starting to finally realize there is, I guess, in a moral sense, I guess, there are, like, good elements about her. I mean, there is that, I think it was later into season 2 anyways, there is that example where she was told that she was awesome, and that made her so happy that people valued how awesome she was. And I think she's still getting to grips about how much of a benefit to people's lives she is. So this episode is a good indication of that, how there is more purpose in her life than just the bounty hunting. There are people that she can grow an attachment for, and I really, and it's, I don't know, it's a really surreal feeling for her to experience such emotions, like, I don't know, fluffing up the pillow, for example, and having this connection with Rivers. It's such an experience, and it's really nice to see, like, Maze evolve throughout this show. She's not just a badass character who is just really charismatic, but she is also a character who has some really good development as the show goes on, and I really appreciate that with Maze. So I really liked how this episode went by, as well as the general plot about how Rivers was. And this is the thing, actually, Rivers is even though he wasn't the person and behind the murders, and he was stating that even though he's done some terrible things in his life, he there are boundaries he cannot cross. He wants to keep his soul intact. But even though we've had that established, and Rivers seemingly is a really decent dude, and of course that lieutenant was the puppeteer, I really like the idea that there is a parallel that is supposed to be put in place. Like, you've got Maid, who is soulless, but she does some really nice acts. She does some empathetic, considerable acts, as we've seen time and time and again. And you've got Rivers, who is supposed to have done some really heinous things, who is supposed to be manipulative, who's in essence supposed to be someone who has a soul but acts soulless, if you get what I mean. It all goes back to what I said right after the episode. There are some people out there in the real world who have a soul, who are soulless, who are inhumane. So I really loved how there's like that I guess indirect parallel, if that's the right description. So yeah, I really loved how that was established. But I also really loved some of the interactions with Chloe and Lucifer, about how Lucifer is so confident that Maze has this handle and Chloe is there, and it's adorable how Chloe is there for her. And I mean, in a sense, you can understand why Lucifer feels like, oh, she's got this handled, no need to worry about her. But I think it all goes back to what Dr. Martin told Lucifer in regards to Maze, actually, that he needs to be more understanding, he needs to be more open-minded, and everyone's going to reach their Goliath at some point. Maze might be talented, and there's no denying that she is pretty skilled, etc. But like I said, everyone is everyone will come to a point where they have to face their Goliath. Just because they are so good at something doesn't mean that they will fall. Doesn't mean that, they're not going to falter whatsoever. This could have been Maze's Goliath, but thankfully that isn't the case. So it's understandable why Lucifer is feeling a bit, he's not worried whatsoever. But Chloe has a right state of mind by showing concern when it comes to this situation and May. So, yeah, and I really love how things just switched at a certain point in regards to Chloe and Lucifer and their feelings, and how it just switched during the latter part of the episode. So yeah, but I really loved how this episode had not just Lucifer take a bit of a backseat compared to the norm, but also compared to the norm. We weren't really we were in LA at certain points, but the episode was far away from LA. It was in Vancouver, like for the main part. So I really loved how different this episode was. But yeah, like I said, I really loved how this episode showed Maze becoming a bit more understanding of her character and finally taking in those, I guess, appreciative comments regarding her. That she does want to be something more. And she is that. She is something more than this soulless demon. She is more than that. And it's really good for her to finally tap into those aspects about herself and start embracing them. So, yeah, as well as the whole dynamic with Maze and Rivers, it was really good. And yeah, I felt like I didn't. I knew that Rivers wasn't like there was something more than Rivers being this supposed monster, especially with how outright he was. So yeah, I kind of had a feeling, and it was good to see how things panned out, especially with the how this embraced a connectivity with Rivers and Maze, and how this had Maze going through these very wonderful appreciative emotions. It was really great to see that. And yeah, we had that ending shot where I did hypothesize the idea that it could be one of Herrera's men, because that was the warning that Rivers gave off, that, you know, they will be coming for you. And, you know, you had the team be involved, be the one to bring down Herrera. Lucifer and Chloe in one end and Maze the other. So I thought, okay, could this be one of Herrera's people? But it also could be the Cinnamon as well, because, you know, we didn't get much of an emphasis on him. We didn't get much of an emphasis on him compared to the past two episodes. So this could be, oh, here's a little sprinkle of the Cinnamon just to, yeah. And, you know, I don't mean to keep harping on the theory that Marcus could be the Cinnamon, because, like I said, I'll take his story regarding his run-in and loss with the Cinnamon with a grain of salt. But, you know, it still could be. This could be foreshadowing. Like I said, I'm not going to take my eyes off the possible theory that Marcus could be the Cinnamon. And, you know, the lieutenant having nefarious intent paralleling to Lieutenant Pierce, yeah, that could be some kind of foreshadowing for what could be revealed later down the season. But, like, you know, I guess you got to take that theory with a grain of salt, like the backstory that Marcus gave to Lucifer. So, yeah, I'm not writing too much on this, but I'm just, you know, putting it out there just in case, because, you know, everyone loves a good theory or two, and you know, people might think, okay, you might be right, you might be wrong. I don't want to know that, because I know I've had people say for certain things, you said some things right, you said some things wrong in regards to theories that I've speculated in certain episodes, but I don't want to know that. I want to, like, embrace the journey completely clean, I guess. So yeah, yeah, there is that. But it was a really good episode. Love it, because we had so much focus on Maze, so that makes me happy. So I guess I can sleep comfortably tonight. Yeah, it was a really fabulous episode, and like I said, it was really good to see that development of Maze, to see her embracing great characteristics about herself, and just the dynamic with her and Rivers was really beautiful stuff to see. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my MediFees channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!